Hey, this is Pat, and today we're checking out the Leatt 5.5 ADV Multitour pants. Now, if you are familiar with Leatt, they are a dirt company that, as of recent, has been designing some pretty kick-ass adventure gear, starting with their 7.5 line, Multitour, Flow Tour, Dry Tour. They also introduced the 5.5 line that just pulls back on a couple of the features but lowers the price pretty significantly in the Multitour as well as the Flow Tour. And I want to talk about the Multitour line here because it's a solid option for ADV riders out there that spend more time in the dirt than they do on the trail or on the streets. And the reason I say that is because Leatt is a dirt company. A lot of these other brands have been navigating towards more touring ADV riding. I like that Leatt is unapologetically making dirt gear for the ADV rider. So I really like what they're doing here. Flow Tour is going to be a full mesh chassis, no waterproof lining. The Multitour here is going to give you a waterproof lining. It's their HydraDri EVO liner, which is a 20K waterproof liner inside of it that you can remove. If you don't want it in there, you get direct ventilation. You get a full ripstop chassis in there with a CE AA abrasion resistance, as well as CE level 2 knee and hip armor in it. So it's punching very high above the weight class that it's actually sitting in because it's coming in just shy of the $400 price point, so around $385. So I like a lot of what Leatt is doing, giving you different options out there. So if you are interested in getting some new ADV pants, I think Leatt is definitely one to consider, especially within their line. You have a little bit of toggling when it comes to the weatherproofing. This one would be more hot weather to cool weather riding. If you are touring around, you can always add like a heated pant liner inside of here, make it into the coldest weather out there. But I will say, if you are looking for something a little bit more summer-oriented riding, take a look at the Flow Tour. That's going to be almost all mesh throughout instead of just having ventilation. But before I get too long-winded on that, let's talk about the sizing. First, I'm going to start with our female model. We have Gabrielle. She is 5'4", 120 pounds. Usually wears her jeans in a 27-inch waist. She measures her true belly button waist around 28, but she's actually 2 sizes down from what the sizing chart would recommend wearing the extra small in this one. So they did oversize the pants, factoring in that waterproof liner inside of it compared to the Multitour. Just keep that in mind. There are short sizes available. It comes in extra small up to 3 extra large with a couple short sizes in there. So just keep that in mind. She looked at that sizing chart. Her best fit was actually 2 sizes down from that. But coming back to Norman, in the male kit here, it comes in small up to 4 extra large. Short and long sizes are available. Norman is 6'3", 220 pounds. Usually wears his US jean sizes in a 34, and a size large is fitting him spot on, which was the same with the Multitour. So we're not seeing that sizing discrepancy that we saw with the female fit. But just keep that in mind. He is a 34 typically in his jeans, and the size large is fitting him spot on with that waterproof liner built into the internals of the system. But let's start looking at the pants, working our way through all the features, see if this is right for you. Just like we saw with the Multitour and all the other Leatt pants, you do have a ratchet style closure system with with a zipper going down the front. You also get a snap adjuster at the one side. It's actually a loop back system, so it'll go ahead and snap into 3 different positions. If you need to hone it in a little bit, it's fitting him pretty spot on here. Again, with that waterproof liner in there. Without it, a little bit more space for activities. You get 2 zippered pockets over on each side, just like you would with a traditional pant. You also have a direct vent over the top right here with a snap inside of it that's actually built to go into a matching snap underneath of there, so you can roll up and get a little bit more airflow to the mesh liner underneath of it. But one thing I didn't really call out in the beginning is just how much ripstop is going through this entire pair of pants. It's really a great abrasion resistant material, which explains why they were able to get the AA system. So you get that ripstop pretty much throughout the entire length of the pants. So I like that they're able to incorporate the mesh in there for ventilation, because that's really what you're going to be feeling on those hotter days out there. Again, if you're riding in the hot weather, maybe take a look at the Flow Tour instead of the Multitours. Just might give you a little bit more seasonality out of it. Lots of stretch at the crotch. Again, ADV riding is a very aggressive sport, especially if you're riding off-road. You want to be moving around a lot, so I like that they've added that stretch panel in there just so you can move a little bit more, and you also get that just above the knee to really allow a little bit more movement there. Cargo pocket over on the left-hand side and right-hand side. You have a cargo pocket with, at the outside of the thigh. I like how they position this just because it holds the weight away from the front of the thigh so it's not bulking up, but it also dangles away from it, so it's not going to be something that is pulling at the pants or making them uncomfortable in the fit. It's kind of hanging off on its own. It is water resistant. I will say, if you are trying to put valuables away in a heavy rainstorm, stash them somewhere that's going to be really waterproof. There's still availability for water to get in here, so I wouldn't trust, say, my cell phone or anything like that in there. Just keep that in mind. At the hip as well as at the knee, they're using CE level 2 armor. It's their 3DF armor. We've seen them use this in a lot of their off-road gear. Very soft, very malleable. CE level 2 with tons of ventilation built into it. You get that at the hip, you get that at the knee, which is adjustable as well. I love to see it. I think that's one of the softest armors out there, but on impact it goes rigid, so you still get that CE level 2 certification. If you're like myself and prefer to run knee braces instead of running the armor that comes in ADV pants, you can take the armor out. You can fit their C-frames or their X-frames inside of these pants, no problem. Leatt makes a ton of knee braces out there. It's, in my opinion, one of the best on the market. So keep that in mind. If you do remove it, you can fit it on there. It's a little bit on the tighter side, but I do like that you can at least fit it in there, something Leatt thought ahead with. A little bit of sublimation over top of the knee with a little bit of a design, but the key part I want to call out is the leather on the inner knee. That's great for gripping. It's not going to wear out over time, so I like that they've added that in there. And then it's ripstop down to the cuff for the rest of it. Go ahead and turn this side for me. At the side, a lot of ripstop over on the side on this one. And like I said, you can see that cargo pocket. You can see the attachment zipper for adding anything in. Mostly ripstop running down the entire outer leg. I like that. This is a heavy zone for abrasion if you do slide on the tarmac. If you slide out on the dirt, you want to have all that material on the key areas, and that's going to be one of them right there. You can see a non-key area like the back of the knee. You're actually just getting stretch. So it's going to be something that's comfortable because that's not an area you're really going to be sliding on at all. Lots of Velcro to adjust in the pants when you want to, depending on what pants you're running. Not something you can put inside of the pants. If you're looking at that, the 5.5 line does have an Enduro option that is an in-the-boot pants. Look at that one. There's just too much material here to comfortably fit inside of a pair of ADV or dirt boots. But you get the reflective on the outside, and you can see it is full of ripstop. On the inside on here, just a better look at that the leather on the inside. And again, you can see how much excess material there is to really cinch this down. Just keep in mind, again, if you are looking at something that's a little bit hotter weather, this is going to be something that I would say look at the Flow Tour instead of the Multitour. Go ahead and turn to the back for me. At the back, you can just see all the connection zippers up top if you want to connect this up to the matching set of 5.5 Multitour jacket or any other jacket from Leatt. You get some accordion stretch. It's a pure ripstop seat, which is great. That's a high likelihood zone that you're going to slide on. So I like that they're adding that in there. And you can actually see the exhaust vents down the back of the leg to help all that air from the intakes in the front get out through the back. These are awesome. Anytime even if I'm riding in rainstorms, I tend to leave the exhaust vents open because even if I'm building up inside there, I like having all that air come out. And underneath there is that removable waterproof liner, so you do get at least some airflow going through, so it's not like the water is really going to hit you. So I tend to run the exhaust always open on my ADV pants just to make sure I'm getting as much heat out of the pants as possible. But again, that waterproof liner is in there. It's fully removable. I mentioned before it's a 20K liner. If you go up to the 7.5 line, they're actually going for 30K. That's just how waterproof and how breathable the material actually is. So I like that they're still giving you a very competitive waterproofing material, but less than their top of the line option just to save a couple bucks on the overall cost. Good glimpse of that stretch and all the Velcro to really cinch these in, and really just good pops of reflectivity throughout the entire pan. You go ahead and turn around to the front for me. So all in, again, I think Leatt is knocking it out of the park when it comes to just ADV in general right now. One of the most popular helmets, one of the most popular sets of jacket and pants on the market. So I think they're doing a solid job. And the Multitour 5.5 just gives you a solid entry-level point into their ADV line compared to the 7.5, the Flow Tour, the Dry Tour, everything like that. So if you are matched up with this seasonality for your riding, I think this could be a solid option, AA, CE level 2. Again, the hits go on what it does well with these pants. But if you have any other questions, click that info button. That's going to take you over to the product page where you can read other rider reviews and see what other riders are saying about the new 5.5 Multitour pants. If you still have questions after that, or if you're confused on sizing, trying to figure out which one is right for you within Leatt's line, give our customer service agents a call. They're all riders, happy to help you get set up for your next ride. I want to thank you for joining Norman and I in checking out the Leatt 5.5 ADV Multitour pants. I'm Pat. I'll see you in the next video.